dog whistle politics. That's very common. And I get it. And I admit I have not heard it. I mean, I've heard it, but I haven't heard it. That's why it's dog whistle politics. For common example, when they'll talk about the inner city, the disadvantaged, the poorly educated, those without fathers, things like that. That's dog whistle politics. Yeah, they're basically saying black people. That, basically. But they're also talking about, the Mexicans. They're talking about Asians. You're just not white, basically, in general terms. And then there's the thing, the whistle that even social media don't get. In fact, you'll see them get triggered when they hear a politician, let's say Nancy Pelosi, or any of the Clintons, or Trump, any of the Bushes, anybody, especially Barack Obama, who did it ad nauseum when they talk about Americans, when they talk about the people. And I'm sure, it sounds right. They're talking about you, but they're not. They're talking about their wealthy donors. They're talking about the rich. They're not talking about the middle class upper to even lower. They're not talking about the lower class upper to even lower. They're talking about the upper class. And they're talking about those in the upper class that actually do donate. They're saying Americans don't want to subsidize the poor. They're saying Americans don't want to deal with the troubles of the inner city. They say these things and they talk about how people are not getting the financial breaks that they deserve or they want. They're not talking about us. They're talking about those wealthy people out there. And we eat it up. We do. We eat it up. We hear it and we're like, you're right. We're sick of subsidizing the poor. And you hear these Republicans out there, these Republican Trump supporters and whatnot, and you hear them, I don't want to subsidize anybody. I don't want to subsidize the poor. I don't want to subsidize those on food stamps or any government assistance or anything. That's what they'll say. Truthfully, they don't realize they're suffering too. Either they don't realize it or they're so full of hate, they don't mind suffering so long as the other suffers. So when it comes to listening to these politicians talk, just open your ears a little bit and think about it. I'm just asking you to think about it. I think I'm accurate on this. I ain't trying to be right. I'm trying to be accurate. When you listen to them talk about, what Americans do and don't want, because my first thought was, how the hell do you know what I am wanting and don't want? Would I want to pay for the poor? Yeah. I mean, you don't really have a choice. We all pay for the wealthy, don't we? We pay taxes. Our tax money go to the wealthy. So, I mean, they don't want to reverse that. So I'm just saying, when they say what Americans do and don't want, what the people do and don't want, they're talking about the wealthy. The wealthy don't want to subsidize you. The wealthy doesn't want to pay you a living wage. The wealthy doesn't want us to let you vote any way possible that will get money out of their hands. That's what they're saying. That's all I'm going to say about this. This is Sedrik Cannady for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.